Donald Trump has literally told the world to show him the money. Donald Trump threatened widespread tariffs on foreign goods and said OPEC is partly to blame for the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine during an address to attendees at the World Economic Forum in Davos. By the way, Trump said he was actually leaning on Xi Jinping for China's help in ending the war in Ukraine during his speech to business leaders in Switzerland. Trump has blatantly said, "Come make your product in America and we'll give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth." Here's what the US president said. Listen in, followed by my colleague Vishnu Shom's ground report from Davos.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war.
The address of the US President Donald Trump to the World Economic Forum had some critical points being followed very closely by international observers. India would certainly be very keen to know about his immediate foreign policy goals, which is why what he said about, for example, interest rates, very critical. He said, and I quote, "We'll ask for interest rates to drop immediately and all countries should follow America." If American interest rates do drop, then it would be a positive sign for the Indian markets. It would result in substantial buoyancy for the Indian markets. Let's wait and see what exactly transpires. He's also spoken about the need for NATO to enhance, or countries in NATO to enhance their defense spending by 5% of GDP. Remember, America has been fueling and funding the war in Ukraine in terms of providing weaponry to Kiev substantially. Perhaps there is a rationale now that America can no longer afford this indefinitely, which is why this call to European partners. At the same time, Trump says that it's a killing field now between Russia and Ukraine. The war must come to an end, which is why he feels that the war could have come to an end earlier on had Saudi Arabia lowered the cost of oil. Now, this statement is again very important because if there is a lower cost of oil, then markets around the world, including Indian markets, would be buoyant. His specific quote on oil and OPEC is, "I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. If they would have lowered oil prices, the war between Russia and Ukraine would have ended." So 3 critical points. How will the markets react? How will the world react? Let's wait and see.